Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DRC Digital Racing Championship. I am back from what seems like a long hiatus, but it's only been about a week. And I'm back to do some commentary for F1 2022 Tier 1 Season 6, Round 5 at Spa. But I'm not on my own. The man who filled in for me last week and is good at filling in the gaps is my good friend Mackie. How you doing, Mackie?
I am doing brilliantly. Bar almost dying straight before stream, but
Yep, he did
that's
almost
all good.
die. It did, I can confirm that. I also couldn't think of a more epic intro than filling in the gaps. That's the best my brain could come up with in the 5 seconds. This is why you should learn to plan before you start commentary. We're learning that at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, planning is generally good.
Yeah,
I've done barely any planning either. I have been procrastinating the whole commentary thing because I don't know, had a bit of a
honestly.
headache all day.
Well, it's only about to get better because welcome to Spa-Francorchamps, and I'm sure there's going to be a few headaches here today. A full grid, 20 cars to line up on the It's Francorchamps? I'm saying that right, aren't I?
Spa Francorchamps, I
Spa.
think is the actual way to say it. But I could also be completely butchering that as well, and being really offensive to some French people.
Well, considering it's not French, it's Belgium, but
Yeah, which is still
they
French,
do
but
speak French. They do speak France. They do speak France. Oh, it's going well already. I'm good. It's good to be back. And we are into the game. I do actually need to remember my job. We can see the game now on screen, hopefully. Yep, we can. All good. So 20 drivers. Now, obviously, I wasn't here last week, Mackie, and you've already told me off screen that you don't really remember a lot that happened last week. But there is one big admission that we have to mention, and that's the changing of the Red Bull seat.
there has been a very, very major change over at Red Bull. It was announced earlier in the week that Mizzy has been dropped from Red Bull. And has been replaced. Retrograde, of course, is in Mizzy's seat this weekend. I'm not sure if that's a permanent replacement or just a reserve in use while they look for a new permanent driver. But Mizzy is suffering both a race ban and dropped from the seat despite having finished second last weekend.
Yeah, it seems like a very strange, obviously, option there from the Red Bull team boss of Ollie. But the rumors going around the paddock is that he was costing a bit too much money. Which when you think about it, Ollie signed the drivers. He knew what he was signing up for. So don't take sides in this conversation. It could be any problem that we don't know. But we're currently on board with Jacob, who also won last weekend. So two race wins in a row. The season 4 champion. Is he hitting another patch of form here as he goes for another world championship?
Wow, I would believe he is in the interviews as well. Last Sunday, he seemed very confident he could do well around here as well. So, I think we could see a very interesting championship happening. As I don't think Scraffy's here.
Nope, Scraffy's not here again. We've got another reserve lineup in McLaren. That McLaren team we may have said has one of the strongest lineups, but it's definitely struggled in terms of keeping consistency in their driver combinations.
Indeed, and I think the main problem for that is that Scraffy's just not been available for consistently. This is now round 5. I think he's only competed twice, so this could be very interesting, especially if he still wants that championship. I think it's going to come down to Jacob and Edgen come the end of the season. This is going to be Jacob now starting the first hot lap of the session.
He's about to head up through Eau Rouge and onto Radion. This is a brilliant corner. Hope they never change it in Formula One. It's obviously been very dangerous back in the year, but they actually put some gravel traps there nowadays to make it a little safer. Because obviously, turns out having a lot of runoff is a really bad idea. But anyway, Jacob carries on his flying lap. Heavy braking zone into the fast right left-handers, which looks nothing like this in real life. And now heading downhill as the gear up the gears through the tricky right hand. You want to keep it as close to the apex as possible so you can open out the corner and then don't hit the curb on the left, hit the one on the right, and then bring it back downhill for the flat, sometimes left-hander. And he doesn't decide to go flat, he does a little break into 7th, keeps it going around the left-hander corner. And now heavy braking zone into our 3rd sector here. This is a brilliant little set of corners right now. Don't run too far wide, you can invalidate your lap time. Heavy braking zone once again. Gearing back up the gears. Jacob always loving to stick in those higher gears. I've noticed that a lot seeing him drive. And it's just a simple back straight now before the bus stop chicane. And you set your lap time. Jacob looking good here. So you set obviously provisional pole, and this is the lap time everyone's going to be chasing. I think we've had a few yellow flags. We'll check on those in a minute. As Jacob coming through the final chicane now, and he's going to cross the line. What's the lap time going to be? And it's a 1:43.1 as his first lap time here.
And interestingly, Cook has retired from the session. I'm not sure if that has got anything to do with the yellow flags that are being experienced, but that is going to be at the Mercedes qualifying last position.
Well, that is not a great start for Mercedes. Retrograde, on the other hand, is about to finish his first flying lap. He crosses the line and goes fastest of all, 1:42.7. And maybe that's the reason why he's in that seat. But we'll find out very shortly. Got McLaren coming across the line as well, with with Penguin going third fastest. Kimirai is coming through the final sector now. A few people also crossing the line. MKL goes fourth fastest, slowest driver we've seen so far this afternoon. Edgen and Igor still on their flying laps. To keep on board with Kimirai right now. Where can he put that McLaren car? Preferably need it towards the front of the grid. Crosses the line, goes third fastest. Edgen is now going to finish his first flying lap. Crosses the line, 1:42.79. It's not pole position, it's on the front row. And Retrograde, the once again reserve driver for the team, is the fastest driver at the moment. I think a lot of team bosses have got this wrong. You need to put the best driver in the fastest seat, not in the reserve seat.
That would be probably an ideal strategy, but Retrograde definitely proven himself as a fast driver right now. Has been able to set a lap faster than what Edgen's been able to set. And I'm not actually sure what's going on here, but was Edgen being blocked by McLaren or am I just desynced? I do not know. But
I think he's on an out lap, an in lap Edgen, so I don't think he's on another flying lap. Holfella goes Forza Ferrari. Well, let's see what Ferrari can do. Igor sets the fastest first sector here. Disappointing. It's been a disappointing start to the season for Igor, and it just gets more disappointing because I've looked at him one time and given him the commentator's curse. Good start from me there.
commentators curse. I don't think a commentator cursed anyone last weekend. And then suddenly you're back in the comms box and everyone's being commentated. And I'm actually hearing in my ear now that I need to plug the Instagram. So if you want to go follow the Instagram, you can. In fact, I'll plug more than just the Instagram. We'll plug all the socials right now. You can go to what's the link? Def, I've completely forgotten what the link is for the
For the
Instagram.
it's listen to me right now. It's https semicolon // question mark it www.instagram.com / digital racing championship / exclamation mark =.com semicolon.
In other terms, at Digital Racing Championship, and you can find us on Instagram. And of course, if you want to join the Discord and join the conversation as well, discord.gg/digital racing. And we've even got a podcast on Spotify now as well.
It's
you
an
can go listen to
award-winning
that.
podcast, I've heard.
I don't think we're legally allowed to say.
That's what I've been told. I'm sorry. I had a script in front of me that said I had to say it was award winning. I don't know who gave me this.
We don't need to specify which award. It's all good.
Vlad's Vlad's come a cropper on his lap and he's got a broken front wing.
It does very much appear that way,
But the best thing is, apparently according to the game, he's on an out lap, so he's royally messed that one up. I'm sure you're happy to have me back, Vlad. It's good to be back, mate. He can't hear me. I can't hear him. But that's what I
He might
imagine
be able
he's
to
saying.
hear you. You don't know.
Maybe he's listening.
I've had other drivers listen in the past.
That's true. And that's a valid point as we go on board with Valid right now, who's doing his... Valid is doing his lap right now in the Alfa Romeo. Valid's been pretty consistent this season as he almost puts it straight into the wall. He's been looking good.
He has been very good indeed. Definitely consistently scoring those points, which is the all-important thing about F1 sim racing, is scoring those points both for yourself and for the team. Of course, Alfa Romeo want to loses a car just a little bit there.
He's got a very loose back end.
He does indeed. I wonder if he's running a lower downforce setup for the back straight. You know, could entirely be possible. But he's going to come through now. He's going through. I don't actually know what the corner names are. I know they've probably all got names because it's an old circuit. But
Yeah, that's like Blanchimont or something, I think.
yeah, sounds about right.
This is the bus stop.
Yeah, I do know that. This is bus stop chicane. It comes onto the main straight, and that's going to be a pretty solid looking lap. And in fact, that's going to be a 1:43.7, putting you in ninth position.
There's not really a lot in it between the between third, well, maybe not between third, between fifth and I'd say 10th. There's not really a lot in it, probably about a few tenths of a second. So looking a very competitive grid so far. Retrograde is still top of the pile, and he's actually starting his next flying lap. But there's so much traffic in between him and his flying lap.
There is, and Jacob is actually leading that traffic as he's now on a fast lap as well. Of course, we'll be wanting to look for pole position to maybe even gather another win off that. I mean, when was the last time 3 wins in a row was seen in DRC?
Edging probably.
Edging probably.
I don't think
Yeah.
I did it. No, I didn't do it because I lost a lot of races.
Lost or just came second?
No, I've had 3 podiums in my career in DRC. 2 of them are wins and 1 of them is a 3rd place.
I see.
Oh, and there appears to be a 5-place grid penalty for AIM, who's collided with Bez.
So
who are teammates.
That's going to be fun in the debrief later. You know, always Jacob really loses the back end a little bit there. They're all struggling through that section of track. I'm not, again, I don't know what it's called, but they're all struggling through there. I wonder if there's just a lack of grip. As we see an Alfa Romeo off the circuit staying out of everyone's way, but causing yellow flags. That's not exactly ideal.
I wonder if those AlphaTaurians were attempting what we call in the business the toe, and it just didn't. Well, it's come off so badly that they've actually hit each other. So that was being quite the awful toe. But anyway, Retrograde is up on his flying lap. He's about 2 tenths up.
And Jacob loses it coming out of the bus stop chicane and messes up his entire lap. That is...
And he stays 4th. Retrograde, on the other hand, will go fastest, and even faster than he already was. He goes 10th faster. And, you know, there's going to be question marks over this changing, now you think about it.
Especially with Vlad not having set a time yet. Like...
Oh, yeah.
Should we replace Vlad as well?
I'll replace him.
Unless
Vlad can put it into the top 10. Let's find out. He's on his flying lap right now.
He is indeed on his flying lap. And we're going to follow on. Goes through Rouge, Radion, and goes on to that... Gets that DRS open very quickly and is now going to hit 213 miles per hour, goes into the braking zone, goes all the way down to just 100 miles per hour, goes through very smooth, very, very consistent back end here. You see an Alpine on the side of the track staying out of everyone's way, but being stopped isn't exactly ideal in an F1 car. Goes through that downhill, which is very hard to get the braking zone right. And through here, I remember in previous games, it used to be you could ride in that green strip and it would actually be faster than riding on the tarmac. Which is very interesting indeed. Continues to go through. We're still only halfway through this, I believe, 4.2 mile long circuit. We're going to keep going around the many S's that are around, going through very high speed corners here in the 2nd, 3rd sector split point. It's going to be not a green or a red for Vlad's 2nd sector. He's going to go through now arguably the fastest part of the circuit. There's no braking here. In fact, you don't want to brake, you don't want to lift, you just want to rely on the downforce that your car provides. It's going to be coming through here, 8th gear, 205 miles per hour, almost hits that Aston Martin, go into bus stop chicane, brakes perfectly, goes through it, does not lose it back in like Jacob did on his last lap, and is now going to go across the line to set a 1:43.8, but only 11th position, Def.
I guess I got to jump in then, Vlad. That's the rules. We made the deal there, my friend. But he's only 11th place on the grid. He's with his team, with his let's say, his teammate that's reserving is currently on the front row.
And
Um,
I don't know when Edging got first, but
Edgin went a tenth faster during that lap. Well, less than a tenth faster. There's nothing in it between himself and Retrograde. Striker, on the other hand, is on a flying lap here in the Alpine. He set a purple middle sector, apparently, according to this screen. Is Striker going to do a miracle on the Alpine? Let's find out. He's got one sector to go. As I said, there's not a lot in it between these drivers. Maybe between first and second, there's more. But can Striker Boy pull off a miracle and pull himself into that top 4? Just got the bus stop chicane to go, pulls it into third, he's down into second, and now he's got to accelerate up, not lose the rear end like Jacob has done, and like many has done before. He crosses the line now. Oh, he goes only 8th fastest. It's not good enough. I thought it was going to be top 4, it's only 8th.
he only gained a 10th on that lap, which was looking to be faster, but wasn't fast enough. And Striker Boy now does take 8th position. And I think the next one to watch, don't worry, the McLaren has invalidated, and Edgin is on a very slow lap.
Yep,
So
and
I
Fudge
don't know
Muffin's not
what's.
doing either.
Oh, and I thought Edgin was spinning there. No, he's just entering the pit lane. It's all good. There is no disaster here.
No one panic, it's just the pit lane entry. Well,
Unless.
sorry. Oh, Vlad's put it in the wall! He spun it coming into the pit lane! He's not put it in the wall yet. Thank God we're on. Thank God we saw that on camera. Oh, I'm so happy we have that. Please, someone clip that footage. I need it right now. Right, he's into the pits, and he won't want to know that that's now on camera forever. Igor is on his outlap though, only 12th at the moment. It's currently Igor's had a really poor season so far. He's had some really tough results. Like, I don't know what happened in Hungary, but another poor result for Ferrari. I know Edgin had issues as well. So
Hungary was Ferrari's absolute master plan. You see, they're going to put their expectations low by having a really bad result, and then they're going to do really well this weekend. They're going to get first and second. They're going to beat Aston Martin to it, and that's how it's going to go. I've definitely just jinxed them.
well, if you have jinxed them, then that is on you, not on me this time. So 2 minutes 20 left in the session. Igor's just taking the scenic route through that left-hander there, but he's kept it mostly on track. He's going to be out of sync with a lot of the drivers, so a lot of the drivers are just coming out for their laps now. Edgin will probably come out for one more lap. It depends. Also, we don't know what's going to happen in the race. Don't know if it's going to be raining in the race, but apparently I've heard, obviously, I don't know if you've heard on the grapevine, there's a new F1 game coming out. You may have heard about it.
I may have heard about it, and I don't know what I'm allowed to say, but I'm also probably not going to buy it because I don't have 50 quid to spend, 60 quid or whatever it's
well, don't worry. I'm sure that it will come. You'll have to buy it because I have to buy it. It's part of my job, and I also drive on it. So you got to be committed. You got to invest that £60.
£60 into a copy and paste game that's going to perform.
No, he's got red flags in it now.
Oh my god!
Think about it. Think about the chaos we could have red flags. Think about this. As Igor is on his lap, he's already lost traction coming out of the final corner. But he's going to go up through Eau Rouge now. Let's see if it's going to be a good Eau Rouge. Does he keep it flat through there? Of course he does. No lift at all from the Ferrari man. DRS is enabled. Yellow flags going all up around the sector, but I think that's just to allow people to get space. Let's see what Igor's first sector's like. He's really on the limits of that engine, and we saw him come a cropper here on the first lap. He's gone very wide again there. He's just taking some very interesting lines. Probably not the lines I would have taken, but obviously I'm the one in the commentary box. He's the one driving the car. So he's coming through the next sector of the circuit. He's going to keep the rear end in check here. He does. Better than Vlad did. Now he's got to keep it flat to the left-hander now. Little bit of brake. Little bit of accelerate. He shifts down to 6th so he can make the corner just in case. And he's got a few corners to go through the right-hander now. And then switch it back to the left. Let's keep it in 5th gear. Keep the foot to the floor. He doesn't want to drift out too far wide. He's done that absolutely perfectly. His middle sector time is 5/10 up in the middle sector. The grip may be coming, and maybe Igor has an opportunity to set a very competitive lap time here. And we'll see how much the track has improved. Igor, the checkered flag is out. These are all the laps that will count now, as Igor will come round the final corner. He's just got the bus stop chicane though. He does it slow it down nicely. And he's just got to get this acceleration zone correct. Igor to the line. What can he do on his lap time? Puts it 5th fastest on the grid. That's a very good lap time as his final flying lap in qualifying. And we're going to have a look. Thunder Fox goes 11th fastest. It's a good lap. Bez has abandoned his qualifying lap. That is his qualifying over with. Retrograde, on the other hand, is improving. Is he improving enough to take this pole position away from Edgin? And Retrograde to the line now. He goes on to pole by a 10th of a second. How's Edgin doing on his lap? He is improving in the first sector. He's already 2 tenths up.
And Jacobs had an instant in that lap and has now got no front wing. That is Jacobs qualifying over.
Well, Edgin has got the opportunity to nick back his pole position. Retrograde and himself trading pole. Seems like Edgin's got a new challenger every other week. But Edgin just through this final sector now. He's got to get these final 2 corners absolutely perfectly. And he's a 10th up in the middle sector. It's not purple, though. It's not a purple middle sector. But can he get the speed down the back straight? He's going to get a little toe from this Mercedes in front. And that could absolutely help him in securing pole position. I think Callis is also coming to the end of his flying lap. Let's see if he can put his car anywhere near that front row of the grid too. As Kimrai retires in the pit lane, Edgin slows it down for the final corner. Callis stays 3rd fastest. Where can Edgin put his car? Can he put it onto pole position? He does! He goes fastest with a 1:42.3. It's 2 tenths faster. And Edgin is on pole position once again as Jacob crawls over the line without a front wing. But Edgin is on pole. Vlad is only 16th. He invalidated his final lap time. And Edgin on pole from Retrograde, from Callis, your front 3 of a Ferrari, a Red Bull, and a McLaren. And that was a very exciting end to qualifying.
It was an exciting end indeed. Edgin managed to pull it back, managed to gain about 1.3 tenths on Retrograde, and Retrograde really performing despite being only a Red Bull reserve. And then, of course, Jacob, despite messing up that final lap, still does come home 4th. And that's going to be a very interesting grid.
Very interesting grid indeed. It's be interesting to see what Retrograde's race pace is like. We've seen his quali pace, now we'll see what his race pace is like. He's on the front row alongside Edgin, followed by Callis, Jacob, Igor, Ardy Gamer, putting it 6th on the grid in the Williams. Brilliant performance from him. Penguin in 7th, Fudge Muffin in 8th, Kimurai in 9th, and Pocket rounds out your top 10. Striker, Thunderfox, Wilton, Valid, Johnny, Vlad, MKL, Bez, Aim, and Cook. Your final few positions. Cook actually not setting a lap time. Will start 1 place ahead due to that 5-place grid penalty for Aim. So that's quite an achievement right there, as Cook has left the session.
I think Cook is potentially having some connection issues right now.
Also, is it going to be a dry race?
Oh, it's going to be a very interesting question indeed. We'll see.
Oh, it's
Overcast.
dark.
It's very dark. It's looking a bit misty, actually.
Misty's not on this grid. He's on the other one.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But Doom Tish crickets. Right, we're gonna I'm really on it today. We're going to be starting apparently in 20 seconds time. Jesus Christ, we're going straight in. Oh, cricket sound. Where did that come from?
You don't want to know.
Right, well, the Ferrari followed by the Red Bull. It's a Ferrari followed by a Red Bull like it was a few races ago, but what is going to happen now?
I've noticed some wet tyres sat around in the garages over at Mercedes.
Hmm.
I don't know if that's like a sign of something to come or whether that's always there, but I've just noticed it now. So,
Well,
it's looking very dark.
let's find out as we have for the 5 red lights. And we're underway at Spa-Francorchamps. And it's a brilliant start from Edgin. He gets pulled away straight away from the rest of the pack, followed by Retrograde. And then here comes the McLaren, Jacob, and RD Gamers. Everyone makes it through turn 1 without really many issues as we're going to head up through Eau Rouge. Edgin is already pulled away from the pack. We've got a few battles going on behind. It's chaos towards the back. We're going to have 2 wide into Eau Rouge. No, he backs out. No one willing to go 2 wide. I think Wilson actually thought about it. And we've got a battle between Striker and Valid down the back straight. But everyone keeping neat and tight through the first corner as Retrograde actually already on the back of Edgin. And, Igor looking to get up the inside there. Couldn't do it. But everyone's still facing the right direction here as it starts. There's a yellow flag behind. Who is it? It's Wilton who's had a spin towards the back. Johnny's retired as well. There's been a big carnage towards the back. So it's going to be a safety car. It's a VSC. And just as I thought everyone had made it through safely, we have a VSC at the start of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think you actually cursed everyone there because the moment you said that, I saw people dropping. I saw the yellow flags coming out. So I'm pretty sure you jinxed that, and that is a full safe. It's been upgraded to a full safety car.
And a full safety car is out with Johnny retiring on lap 1. He's on the hard tyre. Now, the suggestion by the looks of it, even though it's overcast, with the suggestion of medium and hards running here, the rain probably, if it's going to come later in the Grand Prix. I wonder how long people can stick it out for. So Retrograde and Callis both selecting the hard set of tyres. Kimurai also on the hards along with AIM and Bez. Everyone else has got a brand new set of medium tyres. But also down the back straight, we didn't have a look at it. But Retrograde was straight on the back of Edge, and he must be running a lot of top speed.
Yeah, I was looking at a couple of midfield battles that were happening. Nothing did come of them, but if Retrograde is running that, lower downforce, it could be a very interesting race for Edgin and Callus behind, because although most of the circuit is high speed corners, there are some very very straight lines on the circuit.
And we've got a few people in the pits as well. I think both, uh, well, the Hasses and the Mercedes are in the pits, and I wonder if all of them came a cropper during that first incident. Yeah, we've got front wing changes for the Mercedes crew. Both Mercedes need a new front wing. That's going to cost them a pretty penny. And I don't know what Thunder Fox is doing. He's also needed a new front wing. So the Haas team and the Mercedes team, I think, all colliding on that opening lap here.
That would be the suggestion. Unfortunately, I didn't catch any of it. And as interesting as that would have been to see, I don't know if you managed to catch anything.
I didn't see anything at all.
Yourself.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it was
So
interesting. Well, you know what? I'm sure we'll hear about it on the podcast this week. You can catch us on Spotify um, at the DRC podcast called something.
the DRC asked,
Yes, the DRC cast.
or
That's what it's
the
called.
DR
The
cast
DR. Yeah. We're
when
really good at plugging. We've done a good job there. Good job. Right. Nice.
Yep.
We've plugged. Also, we have an Instagram. Check out the driver quotes after the race at
Digital Racing Championship.
Digital Racing Championship on Instagram, at Digital Racing Championship on Instagram.
And we've got a Discord as well if you ever want to like take part in F1 races, Assetto races, or just casual gaming, or just want to chat in the community. Discord.gg/digital racing. We're the best at these plugs.
That was a great plug. I feel like we nailed that. Right. Well, to be fair, it's a safety car right now. We can't really do a lot else. There always seems to be a bloody safety car, I swear. Hopefully we'll be able to... Oh, God, could you imagine next season when we have red flags we've got to stall for?
Hopefully they won't actually last that long. It'll sort of just bring everyone to a stop, and then we'll just have a grid again.
Well, apparently the way it works is what the red flag comes out depending on if it's a huge incident or it's a like heavy rain, the red flag can come out. And what it does is the red flag comes on screen, and then it sends everyone back to the pits, and then you can change your strategy and fix any damage you have on your car.
So it could take a while, or it could be quick.
Yeah.
I see.
The damage change, I assume you can change rear wings and like side pod damage as well, because that would make sense, because you can actually fix them in real red flags.
Can you?
Yeah,
I
think so. I think you can
Oh,
patch them up.
They do keep changing the rules, so you never know.
The rules can be changed. They're flexible rules. That's what it is.
Yes.
They're not written in stone, ever.
I imagine if they did actually write it in stone, it'd be in one of these concrete barriers along here that someone then crashes into, and the rules are just deleted.
Yep, that's true. That's a very tasteless thing to say on this circuit.
Yeah, it is.
Did you realise that when you said it?
No. Any circuit. This one,
yeah, not specifically this one. Let's just not take it out of context, everyone. He was just carrying on the joke. It's not, you know. Well, there's nothing really going on racing wise. I've discussed all the tyres. The sun's come out, so it's not going to rain now.
I'm actually really disappointed about that.
Yeah, I was hoping there'd be rain.
Same.
There's never rain when we
the Mercedes garage was all prepped for rain and everything, and now they're both at the back, having been in a collision with the Haas. So,
Well, actually, no. There's something I can talk about here. This is the site of my my famous victory in Spa.
It can't be that famous. I've never heard it.
Well, it wasn't in this league. This is why.
Oh, right. I see.
Had a famous victory in a league race here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it was. Well, so, as you've asked about it, I'll tell you about it.
Sure.
It was the last lap of the Grand Prix. I was on Inters. Everyone else was still on dry tyres, apart from one other guy who was in front of me on Inters. I overtook everyone on the last lap. This corner right here we're at right now, I went up the inside of 2 cars, making it 3 wide to take my first victory
I see.
on the last lap.
And the safety car's in this
Oh,
lap.
sorry, I was reminiscing. Well, the safety car is in, and we're gonna go racing again. Well, don't worry, if we get another safety car, you'll hear more of my amazing stories later on. I'm sure chat wants that quite a lot.
I'll be honest, I don't even know if I've got chat open.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
apparently we can. This person wants to offer us promotion. That's nice. I can't delete that, so
Neither.
that's not my problem.
Anyway, to the restart. This is going to be Edging in front, followed by Retrograde, Callus, Jacob, and then that is a Williams of RG Gamer right behind. Edging has been very good at the restarts recently, but we haven't seen what Retrograde's capable of, so I'll let you take away this restart.
And the restart is officially underway. And Edgin has made a good job. Oh, no, he hasn't. He spun it. I've had to say it again, didn't I? He's had a terrible restart. And he's spun coming out of the final corner. And he's fallen not only down to first, he's down to 8th at the restart. He just lit up the rears and has made a catastrophic mistake. Oh, there's another spinner in front. It's Penguin. He's gone a bit wide. The mediums are not warmed up at all. And Edgin is going wheel to wheel with Fudge McMuffin. Fudge McMuffin's going to back out of that one. He's not going to attempt a wheel-to-wheel battle into a Rouge. Kimurai wants more. And, oh, a terrible mistake from Edgin. I can't clip it because I've got my settings menu open because I couldn't remember what the button was. But it's absolute error from Edgin there. And I had to open my mouth every time.
And now it's going to be Edgin is now following Igor, and I wonder if team orders will come into play here, whether Igor will let Edgin through. But this is not what Ferrari want to see after their absolutely dreadful performance last weekend. Edgin falling back on the restart. I shouldn't have said anything about how consistent his restarts were. You come into the comms box and suddenly we're cursing everyone.
Oh, as Igor's run very wide there. He's struggling on those medium tyres. Edgin's going to go straight past him. I think Igor's going to let him pass, and he will. And Edgin back up into 5th place. He's got a lot of ground to make up, though. He's got 4 very fast drivers in front of him. RD Gamer, Jacob Callas, and Retrograde as they look to improve. Can I say, RD Gamer doing a fantastic job in the Williams there, currently running in 4th place.
Edgin is now set in purple sectors, and he's now been given a space. Also, I don't think Igor actually made a mistake. Something's happened to Vlad.
Oh, no.
Vlad's lost his wing.
Oh, Vlad's come a cropper. We can't see it, but he's had an incident during this lap. That is a shame for Vlad the Meat Man. His teammate is in first. He is currently in last. And we've got a bit of a battle going on between the AlphaTauris as well. These two collided in qualifying. I don't know if it was due to a mistake. Actually, I think they've actually screwed themselves over there because Cook's got past him. And Cook's going to go diving up the inside. He's way too far back. Oh, it's the Mercedes have hit each other! Oh, my goodness me!
Oh, and there's an AlphaTauri there as well.
What is going on?
Involved.
It's an absolute catastrophe into the first corner. Wilton goes straight into Cook. And AIM goes straight into Bez, and Bez goes straight into Cook. The Mercedes getting involved with everyone today.
Indeed, now's an Alfa Romeo exiting the pit lane, and Valid as well, who's not going to have lost as much time or places as he would have done. We're lucky to have not had a virtual safety car called out there, but that is going to be that's another dreadful step in Mercedes race, despite Cook having made like 5 places.
What was Wilton thinking? It wasn't even close to a dive bomb. We were looking on board. We'll have a look at the replay now. Is this the replay button? It is. Yeah, have a look at the replay. So the AlphaTauris were getting in each other's way. And AIM is just like... Wilton isn't like even past Thunder Fox. Where does he come from? He's come from absolutely nowhere. What's he thinking? And he's also collided with an AlphaTauri afterwards. Oh, that is an absolute horrendous incident. 10 race ban from Wilton right there. That is horrendous.
Stewards are going to have a lot to look at after this race, I think. As Edgin's getting very close to RD Gamer here. RD Gamer is going to have to go on the defensive in that Williams car with the Mercedes-powered engine, and Edgin just goes straight past. There's just no competition. Edgin's he's just gone straight past.
I wouldn't say RD Gamer put up much of a fight there. He knows his battle's not with Edgen today. He's going to try and score as many points as he can. He's clearly fast enough to stay in front of Igor, but let's see how far he can actually go. DRS is officially enabled now, as Edgen with the fastest lap is right on the back of Jacob. Jacob, double race winner in a row now, is now battling with his championship rival Edgen. Jacob doesn't have any DRS. Edgen will. And will Edgen just blitz straight past him? I think he's not really going to have a lot of options, and straight past him on the back straight. Edgen not even phased by the Aston Martin there. Just zoomed straight past him like he wasn't even there.
That was a brilliant overtake from Edgin. That's two brilliant, very smooth overtakes in a row. MKL also gets past Striker Boy. Striker Boy moving down the position since his race started. And Edgin is now back on the hunt to take his lead, which is entirely possible as Wilton retires in the pit lane.
Well, Wilton retires in the pits. I'm sure he's going to have, well, I'm sure he's going to have a few words shouted at him later on in the meeting. I don't know if he may have had brake failure, possibly, but that's one hell of a brake failure. He wasn't even past Thunderfox when I look back at the replay. We've got a little battle going on between MKL and Striker Boy. MKL a bit disappointing at the moment, only sitting in 11th place. He's been pretty good recently. And Fudge McMuffin straight past Igor as well. Is Igor struggling? He must have the wrong setup on. AIM is also had a spin towards the back of the grid. Another wretched weekend for Alpha Tower. He continues. And I think Valid had a spin as well.
It's all happening at the back. There's Alpha, and we've got another safety car.
And it's a full course safety car here. I think AIM is AIM out, or is he stuck?
AIM is potentially beached or
AIM
having
is
wheel
beached.
issues.
He's beached. He's reset himself. But it's a full course safety car. We've seen people dive into the pits. Edgin, Jacob, and RD Gamer being one of them. All the medium runners jumping straight into the pits.
Probably a sensible decision. We are only 7 laps in. They would have probably liked to get him to last another couple of laps, but losing the time you do onto safety car is definitely the correct decision here.
And all the hard runners staying out here. And somehow Bez has put himself into P4 on the grid. He was tangling with his teammate only a few laps ago. He's now in P4 under another full course safety car here. Edgen is in the best position. He's currently in 6th on the freshest, well, on a tyre set that he can go to the end of the race on. Retrograde, Callus, and Kimurai all need to pit along with Bez and Thunderfox. Striker Boy has left the session. I think he's just restarting his game. He is also in the pits, putting on a set of medium tyres. Well, his AI is anyway.
And this is going to be Retrograde doing this restart as Valid has retired. AIM is trying to get back to the pit lane after the spin earlier. But this is going to be Retrograde followed by 2 McLarens, then Bez, and then Thunderfox with Edgin on the fresher tyres directly behind that as well.
Well, what Edgen doesn't want to do on those new hard tyres is light up the rears like he did on the medium tyres coming out the final corner, because that will really, well, you know, doing it once, that's a mistake. Twice, it's going in the Hall of Fame if he does it twice. And both McLarens running well in 2nd and 3rd, yet to pit though. That's the important thing. But 7 laps into this race, we've had 2 safety cars here. I think the second one is less of a fault of a major incident and more of a, did you say wheel issue?
I was just looking at it. It might have been desync, but it did appear that AIM was struggling to get the wheels to sit straight,
Yeah.
or even turn left.
I think he
so
might have
couldn't really get out of the situation.
He might have been beached on the curb.
Yeah, that's also possible. Trying to just move the wheel around, see what could happen. As we'd have a Alpine stops on track.
Yeah, I was just going over to that now. Striker Boy appears to be completely ghosted on the side of the track just before the entry of Eau Rouge. I don't know exactly what's going on. He did disconnect from the session. And I wonder if we may
That's exactly where the safety car stops before the pack joins up. But does the game think his car is the safety car?
Well, Striker is now into the game, so we're going to see what happens when they come around this final corner. They will see Striker's car by the side of the road. He's going to be a lap down if he doesn't get back in now. The game does think he's in the pits. I think the safety car will go through him. Oh, the cars are having to dodge him. Oh God, everyone's starting to dodge him or go through him. They only just seen his car there on the side of the road. And Striker Boy is still not in the game. Very, very odd thing here.
We will
Well,
keep our eyes on this incident, as this may extend our safety car by another lap or two while we try and work out what's happened. I'm surprised he hasn't been disqualified for
well, he's,
dangerous parking or something.
well, I think he's ghosted, which is the main issue here. So Retrograde does well. Just to keep you quick an update while we figure out what the hell's going on. Retrograde is still leading here. Oh, did the McLarens hit each other there? It looked very close. I think Callis was trying to warm his tyres up, and he's always taking out his teammate.
Well,
They
I
don't
didn't
have
see
any
anything. I'm
damage.
keeping an eye on Striker's car right now.
No damage appears on either car, which is lucky. Retrograde is still leading. Both McLarens almost colliding into each other. The only issue is if we are into a never-ending safety car here, we will have to restart depending on what's happened with Striker Boy. We'll keep everyone updated when we know what's going on.
Striker Boy, it has left the session once again. It is still registering him as in the pits, despite being clearly not in the pits. AIM is starting to catch up the back of the grid, so in theory we should be restarting next lap, but Striker Boy will be 2 laps down, assuming this issue is not resolved momentarily. I'm very confused. I've never seen this happen before, Def.
It's a very interesting. Well, interesting is the wrong word because it's a bit annoying. It's a very odd bug. I've seen something similar before, but mostly not in online races. I've seen it in single player because even the single player game is completely broken. Somehow EA have managed to do that. I don't know how personally.
Well, what do you mean somehow? It's EA. That's the
True.
whole thing. Yeah.
True, EA have messed this up quite badly. But I've heard the next game's going to be great. I've been promised.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
Apparently, it's got anti-cheat in it. Apparently. Striker Boy's now
Striker
joined
Boy
again.
has rejoined the sessions. He goes 2 laps down.
Yeah, well, apparently he's not 2 laps down. According to that, he's just still in the pits. Everyone trying to avoid him, but they do just go through him. AIM taking liberties there. I don't know exactly what's going on. Now, the the interesting thing is here, if Striker Boy does get back in, first of all, he'll be, as you said, 2 laps down. Second of all, if the race restarts with him still being there, is he going to stay ghosted? Because that's on the racing line. Now that's going to be quite the line through Eau Rouge if he's still there by the end of this safety car, especially if he unghosts himself. But as far as we know, I haven't heard anything of a restart because technically everyone is still running bar Striker Boy. It's not causing any major problems at the moment unless he becomes unghosted, and then it will become a large problem.
You see, the problem is I'm seeing him flashing, which would suggest that the car is momentarily unghosting.
Well, if that is true, Retrograde will be the first man to find out, as he is currently leading the pack here. Now, the rules of the game is the safety car is only allowed to be out for 3 laps, because obviously if it's out any longer, it would take too long. So if the game is completely broken, this safety car will not go in this lap, and we might have to restart the lobby. We're going to find out
in just a few seconds.
as we come through the 3rd sector. The safety car is in, ladies and gentlemen. The safety car is in this lap. Now, the track has officially, according to this, gone green already, and we haven't even got to the line yet. Now, Striker Boy is still out on track, is he?
Is indeed still out on track and is not causing a yellow flag, which I think is the most interesting part.
Is he still ghosted? He's left the session.
Yes, it is still shown as ghosted. However, it's still like pulsating and flashing.
Retrograde is about to pull off the restart here, and we're going to see what happens. Safety car is into the pits, and Retrograde is free to go whenever he wants. And here he goes. Is he going to do it nicely? He does do that very nicely. Oh, Edgen's gone wide again. He's done the same thing, but this time he's kept it in a straight line. And we are officially underway at the restart here. And Edgen is straight past Thunderfox. Thunderfox doesn't even fight that one. He knows that battle's not his today. As the McLarens all getting out shaped there as we come down towards Eau Rouge.
Oh, the car's unghosted!
Oh my, no, it's not. It just looks unghosted. But the car is causing big problems there as people try to avoid it because they think it's not unghosted. But it is still ghosted as Igor, here he comes. He's going to go around the outside of RD Gamer. And he's getting a lovely slipstream from Farzuk McMuffin. Will he dive up the inside of both? He won't. RD Gamer backs out. He stays in 10th. Everyone is still alive as Striker's car is ghosted. Thank Christ for that, because we were on board with someone that just went straight through it.
That was a terrifying moment. I was definitely expecting a massive impact and our third safety car of the session. But we are now on lap 10 of 22. We'll have DRS again in just a couple of laps' time. And Def, I'm really struggling to make out what this race actually is.
It's a bit of a chaos one. Belgium seems to be chaotic, as always. Edgen is still in the best position here with the youngest set of tyres. Everyone in front of him has to pit. Everyone behind him has already made their pit stops, apart from Thunderfox, who is now behind him as well. And it's Bez versus Edgen now. Now, Bez has already come across with a few people this afternoon. Will Edgen be another one? He's going to get a lot of slipstream down this back straight. He's got a chance of pulling off another overtake here. And Bez is clearly struggling on those hard set of tyres. It's coming into the braking zone now. Can he make the corner? Well, he does it well enough. Edgen not having any problems. He's definitely running up, not having as much downforce because he's having that trouble on acceleration there, Mackie.
Indeed, less downforce, but more straight line speed. So we expect it'll catch up going down the straight after Radion. But he's gonna have to really think about catching this AlphaTauri as Striker Boy's car is still sat on the circuit, and I am also hearing in my ear that Striker Boy is unable to take over the car and it is stuck moving nowhere.
Well, the car will stay where it is. Luckily, at the moment, it's staying ghosting. Here comes Igor, the man on the move. He's looking for 8th place off Fudging Muffin, and he just backs out of the move. There's a bit of chaos going on behind as well. I saw a yellow flag behind, and I don't know if any carnage has happened behind. I think Vlad's struggling. I think he might have front wing damage. Pocket's going to go all the way around the outside of Vlad, and he does it well enough, and Pocket's into 13th place, followed by AIM, who's trying to follow him through. Going to get past the sister Red Bull. You're going to go all the way around the outside. Vlad doesn't have a front wing, but it's still an impressive move there, and he's up into 14th place.
14th place indeed there for AIM. Those medium tyres clearly working despite being 4 laps old. I mean, most of them were under the safety car anyway. But Edgen has got now within 3/10 of Bez, and Edgen is on the hunt, wants this AlphaTauri's 4th position. And they're going to go through here. They enter the 3rd sector, and Edgen has so much more speed through this section of track. Bez goes to the outside and looks like he's letting Edgen through, but no, takes the inside line, tries to fight back, and pulls in behind, concedes the position as they go into the braking zone for bus stop.
Again, not a reason to fight Edgen. He's not your battle. He's one person's battle, and it's arguably Retrograde who's up front. DRS now enabled for the drivers. Overtakes will be a lot easier here, and it's going to help Igor out. Or it might hinder him, actually, because now the people in front of him have DRS. So both McLarens here, they've dropped back from Retrograde. They don't think they can beat the Red Bull this afternoon, but they might be able to cause Edgen some trouble, which is likely what they're going to be doing. Now, Igor has got DRS. Can he pull up to the back of Fudge Muffin? I scared myself because I saw an Alpine at the side of the road, but it's Striker's car. I think Igor scared himself as well because he just saw a car appear in front of him. Now the DRS actually, it's turned out it's hindered Igor more than it's helped him because always I think Thunderfox got all out of shape trying to overtake Jacob up the inside, and it's going to allow Fudge McMuffin to go for a move. He definitely took a bit of track limits there to try and get past him and didn't make it happen. Igor just waiting for an opening here to take back 8th place, as also RD Gamer getting involved along with Penguin. It's a lot of close battles in this midfield this afternoon.
It is a very close battle indeed. Cook picks up a 3-second penalty. I think exiting or on an outlap from the pit lane. Vlad and Cook did pit at their last opportunity to do so. But now we're going to see Edgin has caught up to these McLarens, and he's going to be looking now at potentially an overtake in the next few corners to a lap, which would be very much need to keep an eye on as this battle for, I think it's sixth, is still going on. There's left 3 more cars have just joined it.
It's a large train of cars. Thunderfox the one causing it due to his 10-lap-old hard tyres. Now, Edgin, he's battling with Kimrai here. The McLarens and the Ferraris have been battling all season long. And can Edgin get past them both? Now, both McLarens have clearly, as I said, given up on the race win this afternoon. They haven't, neither of them have pitted, neither is Retrograde, but they're not really pushing to go get Retrograde at all. I got frustrated behind the Alfa Romeo here, just looking for the opening that he'll need, as I think Thunderfox is the cork in this bottle. As soon as he goes, everyone's going to go. Penguin, on the other hand, is thinking about a move. Can he go wheel to wheel into Eau Rouge? He's going to get past RD Gamer into Eau Rouge. Brilliant move up the inside into Radion. That's brilliant.
And Edgin goes down the inside of the first McLaren. They bang wheels. That's going to be the McLaren going off. I believe that's Callus was behind. I could be wrong. No, it's Kimrai. And that's going to be Edgin up into 3rd position as Fudge Muffin picks up a 3-second penalty. But that's going to be Kimrai coming back as Edgin goes wide. But Edgin is going to actually keep that position. And Edgin now our 3rd place man.
Well, I didn't see that battle. We were watching a battle through Eau Rouge, but did it like a fair fight, just a bit of wheel banging, nothing in it?
Yeah, wheel banging, nothing in it, but very fair, close racing.
Well, Kimrai is on the older tyres. He will just be trying to. He was just trying to frustrate Edgin. I'm sure he did for a lap or so. But Edgin now through on him, as actually Edgin's lost that second he had to Callus. He's not in DRS range, and Kimrai's still in slipstream range, still in effective attacking distance, even with his older set of hard tyres. The interesting fight that I want to see is when Retrograde eventually pits for these medium tyres and see how much quicker he is than Edgin, because Edgin's hards will be going off towards the end of the race.
Edgin's hards will definitely be going off, but I don't know if those medium or the ones that switch to the mediums at the end are going to have enough running time left to actually catch up. We've seen this before with Edgin's strategy a few races ago. He managed to catch up, but was only able to achieve 2nd in the end.
MKL is now battling with Penguin. Sorry, no, with RD Gamer MKL into 11th. As soon as RD Gamer put those hard tyres on, he's never been as quick as he was on the mediums. Joining up as high as 4th early on in the race. Thunderfox going to be dropping another position, and he falls behind Igor. Jacob also gets past Bez as the guys on the 13-lap-old hard tyres starting to struggle here as they're just getting the graining phase through their tyres, as Edgin is also onto the back of Callus, who's also getting into that phase right now. But can we have a shout out for Retrograde at the moment? He's running a brilliant race up in P1.
Indeed, Retrograde coming in as the Red Bull reserve, filling in for Mizzy's departure from the team, and is putting in an absolute stellar performance right now.
He's putting in one hell of a performance, maybe enough to keep him in that seat permanently for the rest of the season. I'm sure Ollie will be licking his lips at the idea of a victory in Tier 1. And can Edgin stop him from doing so? Retrograde still has to pit in this race, so do both McLarens. And that's going to drop him down the order. And here comes Edgin. Look at the straight line speed of this Ferrari. He's not going to have any trouble getting past the McLaren at all. The McLaren defending well. He can only move one way. He can't move the other. Can Edgin go around the outside of the bus stop chicane? He can't. He brakes later, but he can't do it. He takes a very tight line through that corner and doesn't get the acceleration that he needs. And Callus holds Edgin back for another lap. But I don't think he's going to be able to do anything down the back straight.
No, indeed not. Edgin just has the superior speed on the straights, I think. As you saw through that back section, was just catching up significantly. But what we're going to see now is Edgin avoided Striker Boy's ghosted car.
You can't not.
And Edgin now is going to go through, going through, has absolutely commanding lead now, and that's going to be Edgin through into 2nd, will now start that 4.5 second hunt for Retrograde. As I expect, we'll start seeing those remaining hard runners pit for medium tyres.
Well, Mr. Vlad takes fastest lap of the race. Isn't that a good result for him? He's currently down in 15th place, but has fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So Red Bull, technically, if you want to say, picking up 26 points here.
Well, he doesn't score the point that far back.
Oh, that's true.
That's the problem here.
That is the
Um,
issue. But there is a good battle between 12th and 9th at the moment. Uh,
Indeed.
Thunder Fox really struggling on those 13 lap hole tires. Now, I'm going to pose a question to you here, Mackie, and I want you to give me an answer. What is Retro Game going to pit onto?
If he stays out another couple of laps, will the softs hold?
Softs die quickly
Like
around here.
they do die very quickly around here, but can he make them last 5 laps? Or is he hoping for a safety car? As I see a McLaren, not a McLaren, a Mercedes spun. They're not in a wall. That's not going to be Retrograde's lucky day in terms of safety car. I mean, we don't really want to see enough Mercedes retire from this race, but Retrograde certainly would for that safety car. As Striker Boy's car is still on the circuit. Now, I don't even want to know how many laps down.
Well, Thunder Fox is the first of the hard runners to pit the start on the hards into the pit lane. He's going to see what be interested to see what tyre he puts on. I imagine it'll be the mediums. Callis picks up a 3-second time penalty. Also, Edgin set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Something I want to just point out here. Retrograde's pulling away.
Retrograde is pulling away. He has turned the power back on now that he knows he's got Edgin behind him, and Edgin is just not able to gain any time. He's kept it pretty consistent as MKL goes past Penguin.
MKL through Penguin, and I wonder once again, did Retrograde? Obviously, he didn't need to push. Those McLarens gave up on him very quickly, and Retrograde is almost 5 seconds clear of Edgin here. Obviously, he's not going to pull enough to get a pit stop. 5.2 seconds. Where has Retrograde found this pace from?
Retrograde has absolutely turned on the pace and will now be looking to just continue to gain on Edgin, because this is now 5.3 second gap and Retrograde's on 6 lap older tyres. I reckon he can keep this up and then put the softs on for the final 3 laps of the race.
Well, let's see what do. That 2/10 advantage he did have has just collapsed. I wonder if Retrograde maybe just on his in-lap here, maybe he's using all the rubber he has left on those tyres. And let's see what he can do. We're going to ride on board with him. And where is he going to go? And it was his in-lap. That's why he had so much pace. And the mediums will be going on. And it's now a battle to the end of the Grand Prix. Retrograde versus Edgin. And is the mediums going to be fast enough so Retrograde can catch up to the rest of the pack? Where's he going to drop into? That is the very important question. And it's not going to be pretty where he's going to drop into. It might be behind Penguin, RD Gamer, Pockets. He's got a lot of work to do.
He has got a lot of work to do, but he's immediately taken it back to 11th. He will stay ahead of Pockets exiting the pit lane, but it's going to be very tight, and he's going to have to really fight now. As interestingly, neither McLaren or Bez have pit yet off their old hards.
They're still sticking with their old hards. Luckily, Retrograde did get DRS off RD Gamer, but this is going to have to be an overtake a lap if he wants any chance of getting back up into those podium places. So Retrograde begins his charge. Let's see how strong those mediums are, and if they are so much quicker than the hards. Edgin, I think, will probably be safe in this race. I don't see him losing his Grand Prix victory now. As much as I'm sure Retrograde would love a mistake from him, I think we've had the one Edgin mistake already today, and that was the first restart.
Well, I think we've had 2 Edgin mistakes on both safety car restarts. He's made mistakes. So the second one didn't really make him lose too much, but it was a mistake nonetheless. As we see another Mercedes causing another yellow flag on the exit of Rallion.
And not anything to cause a safety car, which will be a sigh of relief for Edgin. He does not want a safety car right now. Retrograde still right behind. Thing is, Bez has had a spin there. Bez has lost the rear end of his car. And he's fallen down to ninth. Has he got a puncture? I wonder if Bez has got a puncture. Let's have a look at his car. It looks like all of his tyres are still inflated, so he hasn't got a puncture. He's just struggling on his tyres. And Retrograde looking to get his first overtake done. He dives up the inside of bus stop. Oh, Fudge McMuffin's gone wide as well. And Fudge McMuffin pulls into the pits. And oh, Retrograde getting squeezed there by RD Gamer. But he has the balls. He keeps you around the outside. He's moved up into 8th already. He's on the charge for his podium position.
He is on the charge indeed. Back up into 8th. Came out of the pits. Was 11th. and it's now back into 8th position as medium tyres are clearly working against these 11-lap-old hards. Everyone else has. As Thunder Fox comes out of nowhere and sets a 1:46.2 as the new fastest lap of the race, but that will not score any points, being it down in 12th.
Few people onto the soft tyres. Kimirai and Callis still yet to pit in this Grand Prix. 17 lap old hards. They are going until the end. Well, they're going until the softs. And see what they can pull off. As look at the grip Retrograde has through some of these corners. You can see Penguin struggling with his tyres here. Retrograde is just so much like visibly faster than the Alpine in front. Along with MKL, who's running a good race in 6th position, considering where he started. Retrograde needs to get past both these cars now, and then he needs to continue his charge. The hardest battle he's got up ahead is the battle with Igor. That will be the battle for the podium position.
It will indeed. And of course, Jacob's in the mix there as well, on the same lap-old tyres, as Jacob's proven to be very fast this season. He's only behind these McLarens, and these McLarens are going to have to pit.
Fans will have to pit. Oh, Penguin struggling. It's going to just be a quick move up the inside for Retrograde. He moved himself up into 7th, and he's straight past the Alpine. He's going to need to get past this Aston Martin. Can he do it in the braking zone of the bus stop chicane? MKL is struggling. Is he going to send one up the inside? It'll be a long way back. He doesn't do it. Jacob gets past both McLarens. One into the pits, one stays out, and Callis has retired. Callis retires on the line. Has he retired on the line?
What just happened there? That's not for me to question right now. As Retrograde goes down the inside of MKL, and that's going to be 6th position now for Retrograde.
No,
as
4th.
his next, 4th position, in fact, for Retrograde, as he goes for Igor now.
And that is a very odd incident with the McLarens there. I don't know what happened, but Callis is out of the race. And here comes Retrograde. Look at his speed. He's going to go straight past Igor. He's going to jump into 3rd. And Retrograde straight back into the podiums. He's going to have to charge for Jacob now. He's not going to get edging, surely, with not enough lap time, not enough laps left.
There are not enough laps left. There might be enough lap left there. There's about 4 laps left. It's a very long circuit. He's only got to gain 8 seconds. These medium tyres are only 2 laps old, and Edgins and Jacobs are both 12 lap old. I cannot speak anymore. I'm losing my mind. But we are going to see here. What's even more interesting is how these results are going to look with Striker Boy technically not having retired and them people ahead having retired. But that is not for us to worry about right this second. That's probably for the stewards to work out how the grid needs to be reorganized. As Penguin now is on the hump for MKL. MKL's lost a lot of speed in the last couple of laps. I'm not entirely sure why, but Retrograde now has caught to within 1.7 seconds of Jacob. He just wants to get past Jacob and then go on a hunt for edging. He is running out of time though.
He is running out of time indeed. Fudge picks up a 3-second time penalty. He's out of the points anyway. I think he's just going for fastest lap. The interesting thing is, can Retrograde at least get past Jacob? 3 laps left. And fast lap 1:45.1 is a ridiculous lap time to set on that medium tyre. He is really pushing now as he wants to go get Jacob and Edgen.
He really wants Jacob and Edgen. Jacob, specifically, he wants. Jacob, our previous race winner for the past 2 races, now only stands a chance at the podium as Retrograde is hunting. He has the DRS. He's within that DRS range. He's really got. He's gaining so much just on that one back straight, and then they go into the chicane that ends it, and he's so close. You can just see the grip he's got compared to those hards that Jacob is wearing. And I think in the next DRS zone, or maybe by the end of the lap, Retrograde's going to have Jacob.
MKL has got past Igor as well. Igor's been struggling a lot on these hard tyres. He's been struggling all race, to be honest with you. Jacob has got Retrograde right up behind him. And Jacob, you know what, might do Edgen a favour. I don't think he'd catch him anyway, but it will hold him up for a lap or 2, which could basically save Edgen's race victory if it wasn't already secured. Retrograde, if he wants any chance of the win, he's got to do it now. And he's got a couple of corners to get this move done. And look at the grip he's got. He actually had to throttle off there to stop the overspeed he had coming out that corner. And here comes Retrograde now, but I think Jacob is dumping his battery. No, Jacob's got 70% of his battery. He's just got a lot of straight line speed. And will Retrograde make a move into the bus stop chicane? He is close enough to consider one. What do you think about one round the outside? He doesn't. Jacob puts his car into a good position. Fudge has had a spin during the lap. Jacob is doing Edgen all sorts of favours here, but I don't know how long he'll be able to hold off. DRS is enabled. Will he dive up the inside? No, he's smart. He wants the DRS up the back straight. Oh, but Jacob makes an error there. Was it a tactical one just to not lose the DRS? But Edgen 6.4 seconds ahead of Jacob, and this is going to be Retrograde's opportunity to get past him now on the back straight.
The back straight indeed. We've seen Retrograde being very quick along here. He's only got a few tenths now to catch as he opens that DRS up, and the immediate speed boost compared to the Aston Martin that Red Bull just has. He goes into the braking zone ahead, and he will stay ahead, switching back to the inside line. That is going to be Retrograde now into second position.
Jacob held up one hell of a fight there to try and keep him behind him, but there wasn't anything you can do when that man is running. And Igor picks up a 3-second time penalty, and that's not good. Oh, Penguin's gone wide as well. And RD Gamer's going to be licking his lips. He's going to get both these positions if he's smart about it. He's just got to keep pushing. He might get fifth.
RD Gamer is currently on course to get that fifth position, which would be a brilliant result for the Williams, as Alpine are only going to have the one finisher in the points here, as Penguin is also doing very well. It's in sixth position, directly behind Igor, and still has 2 more laps to try and make a move. Retrograde has caught 1.5 seconds in half a lap. It's not enough to catch Edgen, but the raw pace that Retrograde has on those tyres compared to Edgen right now is just absolutely insane.
I think it's proved that Retrograde is here to stay for the Red Bull team, and we are on to the final lap of this Grand Prix. Retrograde has driven a great race. He's managed to bring it back into second where he started this Grand Prix. Edgen, on the other hand, still leading here. He did the hard one-stop strategy, medium to hard, and it is looking like the best strategy at the moment. MKL has still got a bit of fight on his hands. He's got a bit of breathing room with both drivers behind him having 3-second time penalties. But the real one we're going to look at is RD Gamer. Can he keep up the pace here to get that fifth position? This is what Williams will desperately want. He'll desperately want Penguin to start battling Igor. That will really help his situation.
It will indeed. I mean, Penguin is kind of battling Igor. They just want to get ahead on track, even though these position changes barely matter, as MKL's basically confirmed fourth now, unless we have another spin like we saw in Canada. No, it wasn't Canada, was it? I don't know. I've lost track.
Oh, Ames had a spin coming up through Eau Rouge, and Ames fallen down to 12. He was running in the points as well. It's a big disappointment for the AlphaTauri man. He does have 15 lap old medium tyres. Amazing, he's still going in a straight line. Oh, if Retrograde had a few more laps, I think Edgen would be toast. But Penguin goes a bit wide. That's going to allow RD to catch up a bit. Igor doing his best to hold both drivers up. But at the moment, he will be dropping down at least a place. Igor staying exactly where he is. He'll finish 6th place by the looks of it.
The race I was talking about is actually Mondo. I don't know why I thought Canada. My brain is absolutely fried after this race. That's going to be another spin for AIM, and AIM just not having a great end to this race. Those 15 lap old mediums, I've only just realised, have completely gone. There's absolutely nothing left in them. As now we go see Edgen go through the final corner. He's going to win this race with 2.7 seconds to spare, and that's going to be Edgen crossing the line to win, followed by Retrograde, followed by Jacob getting 3rd or 4th podium in a row. Or
Penguin and
like
Igor are battling to the line. Sorry, Penguin's just got past him, which means Igor finishes above him because of time penalties. But Penguin made the move on track at the final corner, and RD Gamer will come home in 5th place for Williams, followed by Igor. Then Penguin pockets. Thunder Fox will drop down to 10th. Will he drop down to 11th? Yes, he does. Bez picks up the final point for AlphaTauri, but Aston Martin 3rd and 4th, Williams 5th, Ferrari 6th, and then Alpine in 7th, Pockets in 8th, Kimirai in 9th, and Bez rounds out your top 10. Sorry to interrupt you right at the end, but it was quite exciting.
It was very exciting. It was way more exciting than what I was saying. That's for sure. But Retrograde managed to catch within 2.5 seconds at the end of that race. That is mad pace.
Well. We might have a new challenger on the cards here. Has Retrograde got the ability to, next time we race, beat out the man known as Edgen, who picks up another victory this season? After his disappointment in Hungary, he picks up a P1 in Spa-Francorchamps. And we'll have our driver interviews now. If you'd like to at our 3 drivers, that'd be great, Mackie.
Indeed.
And will this race actually ever end? Because Striker Boy is still on track, technically. Oh, no, it does end. Okay, that's good. And we'll have a quick look at the podium celebration. Yeah, you can see Retrograde does finish second. I think you're maybe a bit disappointed with that result, but he's done himself proud. MKL picks up driver of the day. I don't know who you want to give your driver of the day to, Mackie. I'll tell you that. I'll ask that in a minute. But we'll have a quick look at the podium celebrations here for the round 5 of Spa. Ejin with another victory that brings him closer to another title charge. Jacob not picking up a win this time, but does get another podium. Consistency is key in Formula One. But the new challenger that's approached is the man that replaced Mizzy at Red Bull. And unless he just had the fluke weekend of fluke weekends, this man has some serious pace and might be able to challenge Ejin for the rest of the season. Maybe he can challenge the rest of the drivers too. We'll see. But Ejin picks up another win for Ferrari. And they carry on their title charge as the celebrations head off here in Spa. And we're going to be heading off to interviews very shortly. Retrograde does get the fastest lap point with a 45.0. Ejin wins the race, followed by Retrograde, then Jacob, MKL, RD Gamer, Igor, Penguin, Pockets, Kimmerite, and Bez round out your top 10. Bez 18th to 10th. MKL, on the other hand, 17th to 4th. I think deserves driver of the day, driven very well.
Retrograde would be my driver of the day. Just a brilliant race. Comes off as reserve for Red Bull and just put us in a drive that was only 2.5 seconds off edge. And if he wasn't held up by some other cars for quite as long, I could have seen him actually winning the race.
Well, we'll have a chat with him very shortly as we're going to head to driver interviews. I do just need to click close the game, and then we'll head into your driver interviews. I think everyone's joining the cooldown room, which is nice to see. I think Jacob is the first driver in there because he is our 3rd place finisher. So if you want to just, I don't know if you have the power to drag in.
Yeah, I do indeed. And there you go.
And Jacob, your 3rd place finisher for the Belgium Grand Prix. A very solid race from you. It could have been a 3rd victory on the trot, but it appears that Red Bull's new driver, Retrograde, is pretty quick, and Ejin obviously is as fast as you normally think. How was that race from your perspective?
Actually felt really bad to drive, but I wasn't like I had quite good pace, but I didn't enjoy the race. But I'm happy with P3, so yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot of people were struggling on, especially on the hard tires. We saw Ejin on the mediums on his restart actually lose the back end on one of his restarts right at the start of the race.
Yeah.
Also, there's a good finish, P3. Obviously, not a win, but you keep your hunt for your 2nd Drivers' World Championship. I don't remember how you got the first one. It's probably not important. But but
Oh,
so also something I do have to question is, was the Alpine distracting on circuit?
yes. It was very distracting. I think I got like mini scared like at least 5 times.
Because
Especially when there's a car in front of you, just a car popping up in front of me at
yeah,
like 1 millisecond.
like as a racer, like I would like your instant reaction is to dodge out of the way of a stopped car. So the fact it was on the entry to Eau Rouge as well is not brilliant.
Yeah,
But
yeah, it's not great.
anyway, that is another podium. Consistency is key in Formula One. That's how you won your first title. And we head off to Zandvoort next weekend. Are you a fan of Zandvoort?
I don't even remember how it is racing there. I don't even remember the last time I raced there.
No, I don't think I remember seeing a race for you guys in DRC at Zandvoort. I don't think we raced there, did
I
we?
don't know. I don't think we've ever raced here.
No. Well, it could be interesting. But thank you, Jacob, for joining us, and it's a pleasure speaking to you as it always is.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. And we're going to bring in your 2nd place finisher now. His first time on the podium, and we're going to be chatting to him. And we bring him in. Where's the comment box? There it is. And your first time on the podium, Retrograde. It is P2 in the Red Bull. You may have jumped in to replace the outgoing Mizzy, but I think to us in the combox, to everyone watching, and to your team boss especially, you've definitely proven your worth here in DRC. How was that race from your perspective?
To be honest, I'm glad Ollie's happy, but I'm really disappointed because I knew I had the pace to win. But both safety cars, and especially the second one, just really screwed me over. I tried to go as long as I possibly could to get the biggest tire differential. But yeah, I didn't have enough laps left, given the safety car. Yeah, maybe I could have gotten like a little bit closer at the end, but had some DRS chicken at the last lap with Jacob, so
Yeah,
probably lost a second sitting there waiting for him to go. But yeah, disappointed with my quality too because I actually had a league race here in a different league last week, and I was able to go 2 tenths faster, which would have been pole position. But um, yeah, it's a good result considering the chaos that's kind of been going on at Red Bull recently. So for it to just be a clean race and good points, that's fine. But I'm on a personal level, I'm really disappointed.
well, I can imagine. Obviously, having the pace to beat Edgin is something else. I've raced him previously in the past. He's a very hard racer to drive, especially Jacob as well. Jacob is no slouch either. So I think you drove an excellent race, in my opinion. I think Mackie has given you driver of the day. So if that's not going to boost your positivity, I don't know what will, retrograde. Um, so you pick up your win here. I assume, as far as we know, are you now sticking with Red Bull till the end of the season? Are you their main second driver?
Yeah, there might be one race towards the end of the season that I'll have to miss, but other than that, everything seems clear to go till the end.
Well, that is good. We'll look forward to having you here more. So we go to Zandvoort next weekend. Are you a fan of that track? You feel like you're going to have the same pace you had here?
Uh, that's a very different track. I've had a league race here within the last, well, I prepared for it. I didn't actually race in it, but I did a lot of prep for it, so it's still kind of fresh in the memory. So, I think a podium will be certainly on the cards, but a win, who knows? I'm really confident around Spa, so that's another reason why I'm just really disappointed. But
Well,
yeah,
I
it
think
looks bright.
I think you can
Yeah.
make yourself proud because that was a very good first race in DRC, racing some very fast drivers. So thank you for joining us for your first interview. Hopefully there'll be many more, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
See you in a bit. And we're going to bring in your P1 winner. And sometimes I get bored of speaking about this man winning races, but he's back on top step of the podium after, let's say, a tragic Hungarian Grand Prix. But he wins the race, but not without his own problems, causing himself more problems than anyone else. Mostly losing his rear on the safety car, not once, but twice. But did come home with the victory. Were you a bit worried about Retrograde's pace there at the end, and how was your race, Edgen?
Uh, Honestly, if I didn't have my tires really cold, I would have been fine. But with really cold tires, I was towards the end of the race. I was weaving on every single lap, like whenever I could in the back straight, just getting ready for retrograde to come up on me and have to defend. But other than that, I mean, felt okay.
So obviously the first restart happened, and I think that I would assume your medium tires, you were running a lot of less downforce when you were running very fast straight line speed.
I
Um,
was very low downforce
so I
compared to
imagine just
others.
just coming around that corner on those mediums, they can be really tricky to keep in a straight line. But you held it decently, and you
Yeah.
didn't lose too many places.
Yeah, I never. If someone would have told me that at 80 kilometers an hour, an F1 car needs to be in fourth gear to be able to get traction, I never would have believed it. But
No,
apparently that's the case.
well that it's programmed that way, so it must be right.
Yeah.
So if it's programmed that way, it can't be wrong. But another race victory. It's all still looking good. You've got to chase down a few rivals. You've got a few new challengers by the looks of it. Ollie making the decision to get rid of Mizzy and bring in, well, I don't want to say it, but a very fast driver. Are you worried about his pace, or do you think, this was just the one thing, you're not going to see him again?
Honestly, I hope I see him again because it's fun. Um, we'll see what happens in future races. I'm definitely gonna have some side by side action with him, and we'll see how it goes. I guess.
We'd like to see that. Obviously, hopefully, we'll see Scraffy soon as well. That'd be nice if he comes back. The other thing I want to ask, I didn't ask Retrograde because I forgot, but was the Striker Boy Alpine distracting on the entry to Eau Rouge?
I besides the fact that I pulled the wheel 3 times and almost flung myself into the wall 3 times, no, not distracting at all.
Not distracting at all.
Is
Do we know why that
yeah.
happened?
Honestly, man, this game is just
It's quite
terrible.
good. Yeah, that's so that I don't know if you know what caused that second safety car, but AIM basically beached it on the curb, which caused a safety car. Uh, and also, I think one of the Mercedes committed a Nico Rosberg, and went straight into no, I said Lewis, straight into the other Mercedes, and also killed 2 AlphaTauris at the process. It was quite the event.
It really was.
I
Um,
mean, has to do with Mercedes, basically. Just
and
Mercedes things, I guess.
yeah, and obviously Ferrari as a whole had a much better race this weekend. Iger
Yeah.
also getting into the points, which is nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, when there's no missiles around, when they torpedo into other people, it ends up being better for us. They got rid of the anti-air, so we were able to fly the jets today.
Yes, that's that. I like that. I want that on a t-shirt. But we go to Zandvoort next weekend. Are you looking forward to that track?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to pulling 9Gs with my jet in the
In the bank
in the
corner.
turntable in the
Yeah,
bank
yeah.
corner. Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun. Well, thank you, Edgin, for joining us. It's always a pleasure to interview you. Unfortunately, I just want to say, Mackie didn't give you driver of the day.
I mean, I don't think I deserve that. I think Retrograde deserves it with
Yeah.
the
Wait,
comeback. That was wow.
I gave it to MKL because he was started in like 17th or something. I don't know where he started, but
That's also I had no idea where he started.
yeah, well, the game
No,
gave
I
it to
was
MKL, so
yeah, I was mostly paying attention to my tires because I was just fucking sliding around everywhere. But yeah,
yeah, there was a lot of sliding. Everyone was having trouble. I think people were
yeah,
running like 0-0 wings the entire race. So
yeah.
apart from Igor, who was running like 50-50, but I looked like it, but
I think he was running like slightly higher than me, but
just
not
seemed to
that
be
high.
just seemed to be struggling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not in the cockpit anymore. I'm just watching, so I don't know anything.
I the last thing I could say is I envy you, honestly,
Yeah,
because this is yeah.
it's stressful, man. It's stressful. But I did
It's...
get to, I got to have a bit of fun with Vlad as well. So that was good. He made a few mistakes. So it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Fair.
But thank you, Edgin, for joining us, and hopefully we'll speak to you in Zandvoort as well.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, Edgin. And that concludes our driver interviews for today. Mackie, once again, we're back together, and it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been a pleasure as always.
It has been very fun, and I mean, I just enjoy commentating with you. It just works much better than when I'm doing it on my own, like last week.
Yeah, it's just simple. We bounce off each other. It's like, you know what they say is like some people don't like Marmite, like this like hate level hate with Marmite.
Mm.
We actually like are 2 Marmite lovers that combine together.
Except I'm a Marmite hater.
Well, unfortunately, that will be the last time me and Mackie come together. This unfortunately has happened, which is a shame. But no, I'm joking, of course. We'll be back for Zandvoort come next Saturday, Sunday, next Sunday, not
Yep.
Saturday. There's no Saturday at the moment. GT4 isn't on at the moment. GT4 returns though at let's do some plugging quickly.
Mhm.
GT4 comes back on May 27th with the World Series in Asia, starting at the Sugo, I think that's how you say it, in Japan. I think there's also, is there another series running before that? I think there is.
I've got no clue what's going on at the minute. I'm not gonna
Uh,
lie.
I think there's another series running, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to plug it. Now, Mackie, do we have an Instagram and
Hold on about that thing that's going to be running. There is going to be the endurance race
yes,
at Sebring on the 20th of May.
next week,
Indeed.
next Saturday. So tune in for that. I'm sure it'll be streamed. I don't know if it will be me. I've probably been signed up myself for it, and I can't remember. But if I haven't, then yeah. If I have, then the. But anyway, that's happening. And then also, Mackie, I believe we have a podcast and an Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I think if you go to @Digital Racing Championship on Instagram, you might be able to find what our new social media manager has been doing. Excellent work, by the way.
Excellent.
I must say. And then on Spotify as well, the DRC cast podcast every week recaps the latest races from both tiers and ongoings, including potential team changes that are happening, Red Bull.
Mm.
And if you want to join the Discord, you always can. Discord.gg/digital racing, as it should be on your screen. And I think that's all I need to plug.
Do you want to plug your own stuff, or
No.
no? I don't want to plug my own stuff either. I was going to, and then I thought that's probably not a good idea. But thank you everyone for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Mackie, for joining me in some commentary.
Indeed.
And we'll be live, hopefully, for the endurance. What is it?
The LMDH Endurance Championship,
It's
which
that.
is
Yep.
going to be 6 races between next weekend and the and mid-January next year.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, of course it
Yep.
is. It's between every break of the GT4 series. I know that. Yeah, I'm a professional. This has been a terrible ending, but thank you everyone for joining us. Mackie, I'm going to thank you again for joining me. It's been a pleasure. And we will see you in the next stream on Saturday for that, and then Sunday we'll see you for Tier 1 Season 6, Round 6 around Zandvoort. Thank you very much.